Hi everyone. So we are making a fall garland right now. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to make one. Christy is going to join me in a little bit as soon as she gets back from running a really quick errand. But we're here at the shop, our shop in Miami. You might hear the cooler turn on every once in a while. It's our flower cooler. Ignore. But this is totally like in the moment. We're here at the shop. People might walk in, but we're gonna keep rolling with it. So we're making a fall garland. I'm going to walk you through the items that you'll need. So you definitely need your floral shears. Make sure you get a pair of floral shears if you don't know where to get some. I think I've talked about it in other workshops, but I'll say it here again. Amazon, just type in floral shears and good ones will come up. We have Japanese shears. The brand is Sakagen from Japan. These are our favorites. And then you'll also need some bind wire. So bind wire is what's gonna help you bind the garland together. It is very malleable, it's coated, it's great to work with. You can also buy it on Amazon. In terms of the items that you'll need, the foliage. I always like to buy foliage that is dryable. What does that mean? I buy foliage that I know is going to dry very nicely. There is a lot of foliage that does not dry nice, especially a lot of fall foliage at Copper Beach. It tends to just die. So the idea is to buy foliage that you know is going to last. Why? I am a huge proponent of, if you're gonna spend money on a garland or you're gonna make a garland for yourself, keep it throughout the season. And I mean, let it dry on the table. It ends up being the most beautiful decorative just piece of decor for your home. So if you're going to go through the effort, definitely do it so that you can keep it for a long amount of time. Today we're working with eucalyptus. All forms of eucalyptus are great to dry, and magnolia. So this is magnolia. You've probably seen magnolia trees in your town or in your city. These dry amazing in the summer. As the season approaches, as the fall approaches, you're gonna see the brown get much more deep, and it's so pretty. But we're gonna work with both of these, both dry great, and we're going to get started. So the magnolia tends to be like a really popular, we sell so many garlands over the holidays, and this just tends to be everyone's favorite go-to, obviously because of the fall colors. And I always use the eucalyptus as a base. So here's what we're gonna do. Eucalyptus is always my base. I'm gonna set the magnolia aside because I don't need it right now, and that's really just gonna be very decorative for me. The eucalyptus is gonna act as the base. So where do you get eucalyptus? You can get it at your local flower shop. This is called Silver Dollar, or you can get it here. If you're in Miami, we do sell it by the bunch, but Silver Dollar eucalyptus is the best for garlands. So the way that I start is they obviously come stems. I get about 2 stems, just making sure that it's a little bit thick, like maybe half your fist thick. And I'm gonna set it down. I'm gonna set it down to sort of float outward towards the front of the table right now. I'm gonna get another 2 stems, and I'm gonna sort of cross it, right? Like form an X over the other 2. Now I'm gonna bind. And really, the process of creating a garland is the process of binding over and over and making sure that you're securing your garland as much as possible. So I'm gonna bind here. You're gonna get your bind wire, you're gonna cut a small piece, and you're just gonna twist it. See me twisting it here. I'm gonna cut. All right, I'm not cutting these stems right now because you can still bind to the bottom stems. Combine other stems to these existing stems, and it's really helpful because you can just start connecting all of the stems together. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna grab another 2. We're making just a small garland. We're not making anything huge. In terms of sizing, measure your table. Another thing to take into account is take people on the ends into account. So if you're gonna have people eating on the ends, you don't want a full runner garland. You probably want something that gives a little bit, like maybe a foot or 2 at the ends. So I have my 2 stems, and then I'm just gonna move my way down. So I'm going to take the middle of these 2 stems and attach them to the bottom of the already existing stems. And that's really what you're gonna start doing, right? You're gonna start building. This is where I try to multitask. Go. All right, you're gonna start building to the base that's already there. Binding here. Okay, perfect. I'm not gonna touch these stems right now. I'm gonna get some more eucalyptus and I'm gonna work this side now, right? So every two stem has a companion right on the other side. And the reason that I do that is because I like my garlands lush. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna connect this one, these two stems to the already existing. Oh, great. I mean, granted, the smart thing is to cut your bind wire before. That would be really helpful. I get too excited and I do as I go. Really, whatever works better for you. Cut that bind wire a little bit. All right, so here we are. This is gonna be a pretty small garland, probably for a small dinner table. I'm gonna start working the other side. So here is one side of the garland. It's laying flat. It's not as secure as I need it to be, and that's okay. At the end, at the end, you're gonna go through and you're going to secure the entire garland once you have all the stems that you need. So, to here, I'm not binding yet, okay? So I'm just gonna leave this side on its own. And really, this is about a 4-foot garland, which is what our garlands start at. I'm gonna get, so now I have both my sides here on the other side, and I'm gonna bind. And do the same thing on this side. Bind these branches together. Perfect. I'm gonna keep going. Okay. Just gonna keep moving down. I have these two. I'm gonna bind these two. Once you have your base of 2 at the bottom of your both sides, then you're just gonna bind side to side to the already existing base. So here I am. Let me get my other side. I'm gonna bind all of these together now. Okay, so now, I'm just gonna use this one because I have some extra here. But we can add that later. All right, now I have 2 sides. This is where I join. All right, so I'm joining both sides here. Literally, I'm putting one layer on top of the other. And the reason that you're not cutting the stems while you're doing it is because you're gonna have to do this, right? You need to bind them together with those excess stems. So this side will connect to this side now. And I am literally just going in with the bind wire and I'm connecting stems wherever I see them. So we have stems overlapping right here that I'm going to connect. We have, and really just lift it up. And as you lift it up, you'll be able to, figure out like what's loose. And that's so important, by the way. We always, I mean, if we're transporting, like that's the do or die moment, right? Like, can we get it in the car? And, you know, especially if we're building in the store and like sending it to someone's house for the holidays, that's really important. And we just basically lift it up, we turn it upside down, we make sure that the garland is like perfectly tight. And all these stems that you didn't cut, those are the ones that are gonna help you figure out whether it's tight enough or not. Because if you've got a loose stem, you have to bind it to something. So I am binding here. So this is the base. This is our eucalyptus base. All right, so this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. Flipping it over is great because I can see if there's any loose stems that are going to find their way out. Okay, we've got these bound. And then once you've done this, if there are any like stragglers, then you can cut, right? Once you've bound, you can go in. So see how sturdy this is right now? This is what you want. And we have built our eucalyptus foundation. Now, if you were doing something longer, the only difference is that you are building each side a little bit longer, right? So you would start with one side, you would start all the way from the end, you would build all the way down with your 2 pieces of eucalyptus, or really it could be whatever thickness. If you're looking for more of a thickness, of a thicker garland, then you're gonna put more stems. But you're just gonna build your way down and keep binding as you go. You're gonna do the other side right after, and then you're gonna bring them together, and you're gonna bind them together in the middle. This is nowhere near complete. Again, this is just a foundation. From here, we will build. And Christy is here to join me.
Oh, hey. Hi, Christy. Sorry, I went to get sushi, which is, so important. Oh, no, wrong camera.
Because we need to eat to make garlands.
Yes.
Okay, so I was walking them through the foundation, the eucalyptus base that we're making here. And I was just basically showing them how to connect them once we built either side. Okay. And this is pretty sturdy because I lifted it up and I showed everyone how to flip it and all that stuff.
It looks gorgeous. Does it look gorgeous on the video?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so from here, this is the foundation. If I were doing just one type of eucalyptus here, like if I were just doing a silver dollar.
Keeping it basic.
Then I would now, this is what the top looks like. It's not what I want it to look like. I would now bring in more silver dollar and I would start filling in all these holes. So we would just start layering and filling them in one by one and making it appear more lush, right? So see what she just did here? Like sort of like resting that on top of that.
Make sure it's more leaf, less branch.
Yeah, that's exactly, oh, that's great. More leaf, less branch.
I'm here, I'm useful.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's a branch, so you can't avoid the branch, but you have to strategically place the leaves so that you don't see the lamp. The lamp.
The branch.
The branch.
You're thinking about this.
No, I'm looking at that lamp right there. Okay, so because we're not just doing a eucalyptus garland here, the magnolia is gonna be what I'm really gonna use to fill in all of these branches.
Someone say autumn.
Yeah. All right. I mean, fresh magnolia is like, this is fresh, but this is still beginning of season magnolia.
Yeah, later in season it's gonna get like much more lush.
Green and green. Okay, so what we do here is we basically take the magnolia and we start.
You literally organically, no
place
rhyme,
it in the holes.
Place it in random locations. It'll look good.
Your goal right now is to just cover all these branches. See these branches? So it really does. I start in the middle on purpose because that's where I have the most holes. You want to fill your holes and you want to work towards the out and towards the back, right? So you want your magnolia to sort of just lay.
Oh my God, crazy branch.
Big one, yeah.
I'm gonna cut this branch to make it different segments.
Yeah, some branches will give you more.
Also, you can decide if you want it to end in a magnolia or end in a seeded yew, because this could be the ending or the.
No, the ending is right here. No. Yeah, well, because you're doing something. So I'm right now focusing on the middle. Christy's very much sort of like.
I'm all over the place.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. She's placing the magnolia branches down the sides, you literally can place the magnolia branches anywhere. Because here's the thing, we just made a base. So when you make a base, everything on top is just a free-for-all, right? So this is where you get to decorate. This is where you really get to add that special touch.
You should add in some pumpkins everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean,
candles.
You can totally take this to another level, right? Like, You could place this on your table.
Something crazy
and
right
add
here.
in some
Yes.
pumpkins. Maybe you want to add in candles if you're having people over for dinner. We've done like candles even in between the garland.
Yeah, or you could do like family style situation that all the food goes on top of the garland because it can lay flat.
So this right now, if this is sitting on your dining room table, I wouldn't be concerned so much about binding all this magnolia that we just sort of like stuck into the grooves.
Yeah.
Because it's sitting on your dining room table.
Exactly.
Now, if you were taking this somewhere, you would now, once you start sticking in and you have all that fun of like decorating it with the magnolia.
Bind.
Yeah, so now we bind. So, it's okay. So really, the easiest thing to do here is to flip it over.
Oh, see, all mine are crazy.
And then you're gonna see who's attached, who needs help, who needs to be bound.
Pro tip, don't wear these types of sleeves when assembling flowers. Yeah, it's like the stupidest thing.
So we are binding the magnolia, making sure that they budge. Another thing you can do is if you're transporting a garland, you can finish it off wherever you're going. I do that a lot. Like if I have, clients that want me to put in fall garlands, like installs, we started here and then we ended at the client's house. And that's good to bind to make sure everything sticks together in the home and you don't have to worry about that transport issue.
Every little scrap counts.
Yeah, and every scrap counts. So even this stuff.
Yeah. I don't want to lose this little leaf.
We're big on scraps. Do you have favorite leaves you like to use?
Yes, thank you for asking me.
I
love, as Melanie knows, a seeded eucalyptus.
Oh yeah,
which is like a thicker, it's like this, but then it has more dimension because there's like a seed situation in the middle. We don't have it. Magnolia, I think, is gorgeous.
We will have it. So seeded,
we just don't have it.
Seeded
currently.
is coming into season now.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's out of the market.
So you just see it at market?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should start.
I think magnolia is the most gorgeous thing for fall because it's like giving you 2 leaves at once, Two sides.
Magnolia is so good for a garland because it's lush.
Yeah, very into magnolia.
We've
Copper Beech is pretty over there.
We've done ruscus.
Yes, ruscus is more an elegant look.
Yeah, but the problem with ruscus is it doesn't dry very pretty.
Yeah.
So we don't tend to use it for our fall garlands.
You could get like some type of hypericum or berry and like put it in the middle, give it more dimension.
Yeah, so this is like, you can get so,
Crazy.
Do we have hypericum so we can show them? This is where you can get so creative, right? Like once you have like this like base built out.
Like you could, if this is only a one night thing, you could put flowers inside of it.
You could also put the stems in water tubes.
Oh, yeah.
You can order water tubes on Amazon. And you can just stick the stem in a water tube and it'll survive just like a flower in a vase is gonna survive because the water tube has water, obviously. So this is what I was talking about. This is hypericum. We're just adding hypericums. These are great. These are berries. This is so seasonal. So nice. I am currently going to stick this here.
Oh yeah. And don't you feel that sweet victory when it sticks in
Oh,
it and it's stuck.
This stuff is awesome. This is tryptamine. It's the scientific name, calicina. This is now in season and it is my favorite. Yeah, and so once you start sticking things in, like the need for bind wire, it sort of becomes like irrelevant because everything just starts to stick to itself and cross each other, and that's the best. It's like when you get to the end of an arrangement.
And then you could like spread this all out throughout the whole thing, not just a minute. It's all to your taste.
So now you want to just work around and see if there's any holes. If there's any holes or anything that needs binding, then you're gonna go in and you're gonna make sure that everything has a home, everything is attached to the garland, and everything is at least stuck somewhere.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, look what you're doing with those leaves.
Yeah, just placing them, covering.
Oh, gorgeous.
That's what we got. Here it is. You guys can see it.
Honestly, if you go to Thanksgiving and you bring this, you are a gem. You are a savior. You are a gorgeous host.
It is a nice host gift.
Yeah. This makes a table and it's so simple.
And how much nicer if you made it yourself.
You all seem very crafty and it's easy.
But that's it. That's all we got.
Happy Thanksgiving, happy holiday.
Thank you for joining. Happy fall.